Stop lying to yourself. You don't miss him. You don't even miss his texts. You miss the chaos he brought into your life, the drama, the attention. And that part, you're addicted to it. Let's be honest. If he texted you consistently, if he showed up properly, if he treated you with stability and respect, you'd probably be bored. Because what you got used to wasn't love, it was unpredictability. You got used to checking your phone every 5 minutes. You got used to overanalyzing dry replies. You got used to wondering who he's with. You got used to the anxiety. And now that it's quiet, your nervous system doesn't know what to do. You don't miss him. You miss the stimulation. You miss the late night "I miss you" texts that came hours of silence. You miss the way he'd disappear, then come back just when you were about to move on. That cycle, that's not romance. That's intermittent reinforcement, and your brain loves it. Let me explain something. When someone gives you attention randomly, not consistently, your brain releases more dopamine than when it's predictable. It's the same reason people get addicted to gambling. You don't know when you're going to win, so you keep playing. He wasn't your soulmate. He was your slot machine. Every time he came back, dopamine. Every time he left, withdrawal. Every time you saw his name pop up, hope. And hope is one of the most addictive emotions a human being can feel. You weren't in love. You were in a cycle. And cycles feel intense. They feel passionate. They feel consuming. But intensity is not intimacy. Let's talk about something else. If you have an anxious attachment style, chaos feels familiar. If you grew up having to earn attention, having to chase love, having to prove your worth, then of course you'd feel drawn to someone who makes you chase again. It feels like home. Not healthy, just familiar. And familiar is dangerous when it's dysfunctional. You say you miss him, but what exactly do you miss? Do you miss crying over a reply? Do you miss stalking his social media? Do you miss overthinking every word? Do you miss wondering if you're enough? Or do you miss the version of him that only showed up 20% of the time? Be honest, because most of the time you're grieving potential, not reality. You're grieving the fantasy version of him, the what-if version, the version where he finally changes, the version where he chooses you, the version where he becomes consistent. But you weren't dating that version. You were dating who he actually was, and who he actually was kept you anxious, kept you guessing, kept you small. You don't miss him. You miss the emotional roller coaster. And roller coasters are fun, until they make you sick. Here's the part nobody tells you. Calm love feels boring at first, because there's no adrenaline, no panic, no constant questioning, just peace. And if you've been conditioned to associate chaos with chemistry, peace will feel wrong. But peace is not wrong. It's just unfamiliar. And unfamiliar doesn't mean bad. It means growth. So if your chest feels tight because he's not texting, if your fingers itch to check his profile, if your brain keeps replaying old memories, pause. That's not love calling you back. That's withdrawal. And withdrawal passes, but only if you stop feeding the addiction. Stop romanticizing inconsistency. Stop mistaking anxiety for passion. Stop confusing breadcrumbs with effort. You deserve consistency. You deserve calm. You deserve someone who doesn't make you question your value every 48 hours. And here's the truth that's going to sting. If he wanted to show up for you consistently, he would have. He didn't. And that silence, that inconsistency, that distance, that was your answer. You don't need closure. You need detachment. You don't need another conversation. You need discipline. Because every time you go back, you reset the cycle. Every time you respond, you restart the addiction. Walking away isn't losing. It's breaking the pattern. It's choosing your nervous system over your nostalgia. It's choosing stability over stimulation. It's choosing yourself over potential. So no, you don't miss him. You miss the chaos. And once you understand that, you stop chasing ghosts. You stop refreshing screens. You stop begging for clarity. Because clarity was always there. He showed you who he was. You just kept hoping he'd become someone else. And that's the only thing you need to detach from.